And we're starting.
I think it's going. It says a little pop-up in the corner popped up.
Did it pop up on your end?
Yeah, it says live on Facebook recording. Meeting is now streaming live on Facebook.
Yeah.
It worked.
So, well, that's good. We're back live. So, I haven't opened up a laptop today. So, Jessica, we're going to try this again. And welcome to Facebook Live Spotlight on Businesses with me. I'm so glad that I could grab you again today because I didn't want much time to go by. And thank you.
I'm always getting to talk to you.
So um, we started talking yesterday, and we're going to just start over. But you are the daughter of Harold and Karen Rothenberg, and I tell me about Hersh's. Tell me about family business and the backstory of Hersh's.
So Hersh's is my dad's store. It's now a family-owned store. He opened the store when he was 24. I think it's been 37 years. It'll be 37 years in June. And he started with all women's clothing, and it still is all women's clothing. We've added shoes to the mix, and we've added a little bit of home goods to the mix. And my mom started here about 10 years ago, and now I've been here probably 6 or 7 years now, and so we work together every day.
Did you always know you wanted to go into fashion?
No, I had zero desire. I mean, when I was really little, my dad would do these big sales on Thanksgiving, and my brother and I would help out and that kind of thing. But I never had any clue I wanted to do this at all until a freak day. I happened to be in the store. It was the summer, probably 10 years ago now. And Elaine from Rear Ends walks in and she says, "What are you doing this weekend? We have a wedding. None of us can be there. I'm short staff. I could show you how to use the computer in 5 minutes. Do you mind helping out?" I'm like, "No problem. I'd love it. I have nothing to do." And I ended up working for them for, I think, 2 or 3 years. And I loved it. I loved being in the store every day. I loved talking to new people every day. And my dad turned to me and he was like, "If this is what you want, come on in." So it's the best. Now I didn't realize I would do it, but I have the best time doing it every day.
Well, I think that one of the things in particular that I love best about that your sort of backstory is the fact that you started out in a different family business. And down the road, a few stores down, and not necessarily in your own family business, but earned your love for how things are done. But what's interesting about you is that when we went into the March, who knew what was going to happen, COVID mode, you really reached out to a lot of the other small businesses, were supportive, gained support from them as well. And, talk a little bit about the early days of COVID and what you first initially saw or what you thought you had to do.
Well, I will say that I'm very fortunate, especially to work in my family business, to have that relationship with Rear Ends and Sundance and to be in the center that we are in on the boardwalk. Because growing up and still today, we support each other fully. And I could be in the store, and if a customer needs a shoe, I either call Sundance and they bring it over, or I run down myself and I grab shoes for them. We send customers to each other all day long with all the stores. And so we've always had a business where we lean on each other. And I thought in the beginning of COVID, this is a whole new uncharted territory, and we all needed to bounce ideas off each other and support each other and see what everyone else was doing that maybe we could do differently or we could do better to help bring business during all of this. So we all thankfully talked and we all helped each other out. And it really was a really, really good collaboration between all of us.
What I know that from the start, we jumped on email and texting right away together. And I think the first thing that I noticed of most of my small businesses, they weren't ready. And I say that tongue in cheek because who would be ready for a pandemic? Why would we be ready? But I think one of the things that we learned right away was that um, what we weren't ready for was um, the technology part of it. Most small businesses don't sell from their website. There might even be the philosophy of we don't shop online. And so, what did you have to do?
I think that retail in general, and specifically retail, small business retail, we had to, this whole COVID and this whole pandemic created so much progress for all of us. I mean, I think what would have taken us 3, 4 years to start a social media page that's successful and to really start creating our website would have taken a lot of time, and we've had to jump on it so quickly. And we thankfully were able to do all of that. My brother, who doesn't work with us, has stepped up and he's helped us, create our website, and we're just slowly starting to put products on it. I, who was never a social media person, I don't like the spotlight like that, have been doing the social media thing every single day. And it's really, really incredible how beneficial it is. I never understood it so much to believe how well it worked. And it is remarkable the kind of difference it makes.
What are you seeing? Because one of the things I see is that from day one, you got up in the morning and you were, you took a rack to your house or went into your store, but by yourself. So there was the employee. Let me keep my employees safe, but let me show clothes. Do my customers need clothes during this time? I mean, there were a lot of things to think about early on.
I still believe that not everybody is ready to shop, and we totally respect that. And I feel like our customers that want to shop, they know we're here. And if somebody doesn't want to shop and they just want to talk to us, we're here too, which is great. And we've had that this whole time. But yeah, in the beginning, my parents and I packed up the store. We packed up all of our cars. We brought everything to my house. I had my guest bedroom filled with Hersh's clothes, my dining room filled with Hersh's clothes. It was everywhere. And my husband and I were both really working from home, and I had him almost daily videotaping me when he got a second. He'd be on a call and he'd be videotaping me at the same time and taking pictures. And it really, really worked. I mean, all of it was organic. So my brother tells me, because he's in this business, that you can pay for your Instagram ads and you can pay for your posts and you can target market. I really didn't do any of that. I did just specifically posting, just specifically stories on Facebook and Instagram, and the results were amazing. I mean, we've gained probably 30 new customers in just 2 months just from social media alone, which is really remarkable. And now that I see what it really does for a business, I don't want to change it.
And what I think that it from a lot of people, what I'm hearing is they also learned even more about their clients and their customers. I'd say in your case, what their needs were, and I mean, they expressed more to you. They were more vocal, even if they weren't buying something.
Messaging what they are interested in, what they like to see. Also, who is on social media? I mean, my dad, we have a very wide variety of clients, from my age in their 20s and 30s to someone in their 90s. And I have my 90-year-old customers on Instagram messaging me. It's remarkable, but you'd think not everybody does it. And a lot of people are on social media and they're engaged.
I think that during this time, one of the things I noticed is there were more people on social media. We know this because of all the technical problems going on, the lack of internet. going down and things like that, for sure. But I think that, one of the things that happened is people were at home. They wanted not to be isolated and were isolated. So from a retail standpoint, there was there weren't restaurants open, so food bloggers weren't necessarily blogging, but it gave the fashion world a chance to really show off their wares. Yet, I definitely have people say, do we really need to be shopping right now? People are out of work. And I know that as a as someone who has to help craft messages, I toyed with that a little bit and went to other clients, and I said, how are we going to grapple with that? Um, God love your dad, but I know, like, I had one ear going, got to stay in business, got to keep going, um, but also the outside world saying, do we need a $200 pair of jeans? Do we need a $150 sweater? Do we need a $30 sweater? Um,
All of that's true. I mean, you and I come from the same mindset. I've always been a small business shopper. And it's not just because I grew up in the center with Sundance next to me to buy my shoes and rear ends to buy my jeans in my dad's store. I, to this day, am not a mall shopper. So I've always felt the need to support small business is so important. And if one of us is successful, we will all be successful. And a lot of us did the same thing where we did like a gift card promotion. And in the beginning of COVID, not everyone wanted to shop. Not everybody needed anything. We weren't really leaving the house. We were getting up. I mean, I happen to get dressed for Instagram every day, but most people weren't getting dressed like that. And we didn't need anything. So people were so supportive, our customers, and people that really don't shop in the store were so supportive, and they were buying gift cards and they were wanting to use them on a future date, which helped us in the very beginning and was really, really successful. And we're so lucky that we had that opportunity. Um, and for our customers that didn't want to shop, I mean, we've always been this way. We reach out to our customers very regularly. And most of the time we are reaching out is just to say, hi, how are you? What's going on with you? Are you okay? Are you healthy? How's your family? And it wasn't to get anyone to buy anything. It was just to check in because our customers are our family. We're really, really fortunate that way.
I think that's the best part of what shopping in a local situation, shopping in the community, is that your customer, and even when you get a new customer. And that's the ideal situation, because getting a new customer allows you to be able to say, hey, you're a new customer, and that, what do you like? What colors do you like? How can, we service you? And, yesterday in Michigan, the malls opened. And, I like to go to the mall every once in a while. There's certain areas of a department store I find sort of fun, but yet you're often sort of standing around going, hey, somebody see me, help me. And then, it's still my personality that I would walk into a local store and they're like, what do you like? What do you want? Oh, what size are you? And you just don't have, nor can you expect it, but you don't have that same.
I mean, that's why I've always been a small business shopper. It's what I grew up in. It's what we do so well is we know our customers. We know what they like. I have customers that come in and I don't even have to show them the whole store. I know the 12 things that are them that they're going to like. I know whether or not they're going to fit their body. I've tried the merchandise on, I've seen the merchandise on another customer. I know exactly the fit and I know whether or not it's going to fit them. We're all built differently. We all choose to dress differently. We all have different lifestyles. And when you go into a department store, you're dealing with a new face who might not know you. And while they're very helpful and they all have really great things, there's something to be said about walking into a small business where everyone knows your name and everyone knows what you like and everyone is here to really fit your needs of what you're looking for.
So the other thing that's interesting, talk about what you all have decided, because right now we're in the plan of you can just open and swing open your doors. And you're choosing your own path. So talk about what Hersh's has decided.
So we're really, again, because we know our customers, we talk to our customers so frequently, we're noticing that our customers are not ready to step foot in an open store, even though we're physically allowed to be open. We're going to continue for the time being to keep these limited hours at 10 to 2 and do by appointment only. Of course, we have had walk-ins in the sense that someone calls, they see we're open from the door, and they ask if they're able to come in and shop. And most of the time they are, because the other customer that's in an appointment doesn't mind if another person's there. But, you know, we just want our customers to feel comfortable, and we want our customers to feel safe. And I want that for my employees as well. And we're going to see how everything happens in the next couple weeks as everything starts to open, and maybe we will change to, you know, having a walk-in normal day. But at the moment, we're going to stick with this by appointments, and it's working for us. It's been really successful so far.
I think that's great. And I think one of the things that I love is that you're in the situation as a family. You can have that conversation and say, this is what I'm hearing from our customers today, tomorrow, and this is what they want. And you know, your bookend by other in a strip plaza, your bookend by other retailers who their customers may be telling them something different. Um, and that's okay too. But you can't do that in a mall situation.
That's the difference when you're working with a big box store or, you know, large retail stores in a mall on a different scale. They're following what the CEO of their company says. And while it might be working in Florida or Texas, it might not work in their specific location. So we all are making our own decisions based on what our customers do and they want and what they feel most comfortable with, because safety is the most important thing right now. We want everyone to be safe and healthy.
So speaking to that, you know, one of the other things that you all do is you travel a few times a year to look at merchandise. Um, so two questions here. One, how is that going to look and change? And the second thing is that I really want you to talk about the fact that when you are a local business, you can almost in your mind say, I know my customer, they're going to love that. And I want to buy that for them, or, you know, small, medium, and large, because I have small, medium, large people who want it. But how's, you know, what are you going to do, and how's that going to change in the fashion world?
So I've been sitting in on all these websites that puts on our retail shows. So here we go for the clothing aspect. We go in September and we go in February. And in September, we buy for spring and summer, which is kind of crazy because we haven't even started our fall season yet, and we're already buying for spring and summer. So I've noticed through all of this that the fashion industry has had to change their way of buying and manufacturing, and they are kind of slowly becoming more buy now, wear now, because they've had no choice but to. And that's great for us because it's a little bit easier for me to be buying something when I know exactly what everyone's looking for at the time. There's a couple, I was in a webinar a couple months ago, and the woman owns this company called Jor Access, which is an online database that tons of the designers are a part of. And I've used it for years. I'm able to log on to their website. I'm able to place orders through their website. I'm able to see what they have in stock. I'm able to look at things that I ordered in September before they come in February or March, and remind myself exactly what I had ordered, because they have pictures. They're changing a lot of their website, and they're adding a 360 view database to this, which is great. However, the most important thing to us is fit and feel and touch. And we want to know exactly what our clothing looks like. We want to know exactly what it fits like, because pictures don't do it justice. And thankfully, most of the companies we carry are smaller companies, and even bigger companies, they have reps that will drive, and they get on the road and they bring the entire collection to us. And so I think we're going to see a lot more of that in the next coming months of how we're going to buy for the next seasons. I think that there will be a lot more reps on the road bringing lines directly to us, so that again, we can see the samples, we can see the fit. it's always been great having a rep in the store because our customers will be there also and they'll run to the back and they're like, oh, I love this top in black. Like, you got to order this top. I mean, my dad taught me. I used to go before I worked for him. We would go to New York as a family and shop for the store. And at 8 years old, my dad said the one rule in buying for your store is if you see something you like, you have to be able to name 3 customers that you think will buy it.
Oh,
So,
that's an interesting trick.
I mean,
Yeah.
it works because I'll see a top and while it might be really cute, if I can't name 3 customers that are going to buy it, I have no one to call when that piece of merchandise comes in. How can I sell something that I can't even think of one person that wants it?
Mm-hmm.
That's how we do our buying, and that's what, it's all about in a small business. We know what our customer wants. We shop for them, not for us.
How do you think with these changes internally you'll change? So, when the rep's there, will you offer more type of events? I mean, you already do many trunk shows that not your big boxes are known for, but you also are known for. People wait for your trunk shows and things like that. But do you see that as even more part of your marketing future?
I think that in general, what's going to happen, I think that a lot of these companies, these manufacturers, are going to scale down their lines for the seasons. And I think in doing so, they're probably going to have us and give us the opportunity to offer more trunk shows. It will give them the opportunity for real live customer feedback as well as us to see what's working and what's not working. They're going to have to cut back their lines and only produce what people want. There's always things that, make a season and look really cute, but they don't always sell. And I think that being able to have more trunk shows, which we love to do, gives us that opportunity. I do believe that this industry is going to change a lot, but I think it's going to be very, very beneficial for everybody.
So with that, you think, and I always never understand how people can do this, that you're in the middle of summer and you're thinking about, I feel like next summer, but you think they're going to shorten that up.
I think they're going to have no choice but to. I think right now what happened was most of our merchandise, some of it's made in China, some of it's made in Europe, some of it's made in New York. When everything shut down, these companies, they got our orders for fall. The end of February, they were due. We closed out in March. So a lot of these manufacturers weren't really able to make any of their things yet for fall. So now they have to figure out, they have to make them in a faster amount of time, and they have to scale down their lines so that they are able to produce what they need to for the season. In my opinion, I think they are going to become a little bit closer to a buy now, wear now. I mean, we're seeing it right now where, we had to cancel most of our orders moving forward. We didn't know when we were going to open. We didn't know if people were going to be shopping. We didn't know if we could take in new merchandise. And thankfully, most of our companies have merchandise in stock now. They're able to start producing things. And we pick up the phone. I noticed that all of my customers were asking for shorts. I only had one style of shorts in my store. My dad, my mom, and I picked up the phone in the last couple weeks. We've called all of our vendors. We have shorts coming in.
And is that, so are you finding it's because people, I mean, so I'm guessing you're finding that that's because people are at home, maybe still not going back to work?
Absolutely. I think also what happens normally in this business is that we start to get, with spring and summer, for example, we start to get our spring and summer merchandise in January.
Mm-hmm.
Freezing cold. And while people are excited that new things are in and they shop for those things, they're not wearing them until who knows when we get summer. I mean, this year it was June and it's great. But now they're in that warm weather season. They're seeing what they're putting on. And so they're able to tell us immediately, this is what I'm wearing right now. This is what I'm wearing every single day. Normally, you buy a t-shirt for June and you don't know if you're going to wear it. You don't know how often you're putting it on or how hot the season's really going to be. So I think that makes a huge difference.
Well, and I think the other thing, like, I don't know that in March, we all thought, I mean, I'm like you, I get dressed every day, but I don't know that in March, we would have saw the jump in slippers, fuzzy slippers and designer slippers, but also the jump in cozy and athletic wear. And, you know, in March in Michigan, as an example, we would want all of our cashmere sweaters out and warm sweaters. And, you know, I think a lot of people took to, I'm not leaving my house. I want my comfortable, cozy, you know, sweats. And I think like a year ago, that's not necessarily what you were buying.
Absolutely. I mean, athleisure wear is huge. It wasn't really what we did or did well. It's forced us obviously to shop a little different for our customers and buy a little differently. But thankfully, because we have this whole all this technology, we're able to talk to our customers directly and see what they want. And we're able to, again, shop for them. You can't talk to Nordstrom's and tell them these are the things we're wearing. You can
Yeah, you can't tell them, please go get that for me.
literally reach out directly and talk to a real person who knows your size and knows what you like. And you can tell them, this is what I'm wearing right now. This is what I want. How fast can you get it for me?
Right. So let's talk about the technology going forward. What do you think you're going to keep going? Because I will say this: love your parents. This has fallen on you, and I've said this a lot to my family businesses, but it's fallen on the second generation. And probably rightfully so. You're supposed to be the techies. I can't say that all of you have been, but but you know, I'm supposed to be the techie too. But you know, what do you think is going to, you know, sort of stick?
I mean, the social media thing has to stick. It is incredible the kind of response it provides from your customers. It's amazing the reach that it has. I mean, you know this, but most of our customers know this. We wrote all of our flips by hand. So if you came in and you went shopping with us, we wrote down sweater, $100, t-shirt, $70. I didn't know what the sweater was. I didn't know what the t-shirt was. I just knew the price. And a year ago, we got a computer system, which thank God we've had during this, because if a customer texts me at 9:30 at night, I can log onto my computer. I can tell them I have the sweater and I can tell them I have it in their size and I can drop it off at their house.
Yeah,
So
I will say this, not to you, but maybe to, you know, the big man in the back, pulling, you know, Osbeck, you know, he is old school for sure.
sure. I mean, he ran his business for 37 years without my mom and I. And
And did it amazingly well. So it's hard to say, hey Hersh, you know, I told you so, because like you don't ever want to say I told you so and here's a pandemic. But you know, he's funny in that way, and that it so worked, and nobody does know their clients better and their fit better. And you know, but
definitely the social media thing. I mean, we'll 100% stick with it. Something we've always done, which not everyone knows, but of course was much more prevalent during this pandemic, is we've always taken things to our customers and dropped things off for them. I mean, if you can't get to us, we can help you. We can make it easy on your life. And I mean, we've come in after hours for customers. We'll continue to do that. Obviously, we have limited hours now. We'll continue to open for somebody if a better time works for them. But, you know, we did drop-offs all day, every day during this pandemic. We curated bags of clothing for our customers that we know they would like, and we delivered them to their porches, zero contact. We're continuing to do these deliveries. I mean, yes, we're open for curbside. Yes, we're open for appointments, but you know, if my customer can't get to me and they need something, I'm going to make it easy on them. We all have busy lives. We all have things going on, and that's what this business is about. It's about catering to your customer. It's about personal service. It's what my dad founded this business on, and it's what we have to really, really nurture again. Because if we're good to our customer's really good to us, and it's really important. They should be the ones that are treated really well and get everything they deserve.
I think that I knew this before from going into small businesses, but it's been reiterated over and over, not just by you, but other small businesses, that their bottom line of their foundation starts with customer service. every single one starts with who their customer is, um, nurturing their customer, because when you do that, then the financial end of the bottom line is what grows your business.
It really is. And I mean, trust me, during all of this, I've dropped bags off of clothing, bags and bags and bags. And I've had customers that don't keep anything. Nothing works. And I'm perfectly content with that. We are perfectly happy that when that happens, it's fine. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to want to shop. You don't have
Well, I will interrupt you to say that one of the reasons I believe that and I'll start with your mom and dad, and it's been instilled to you, is because when you walk out the door, they really believe, and they're not with you, but when you go to an event, when you go to a work event, and someone says, "Oh my God, I love that," and where did you get it? And you say, "Well, I'm in something from Hersh's." They have no fear that you look good. I mean, and I find this to be true also. I spoke with Ariana Carps the other day of Rear Ends, but so many of the small businesses in Michigan, and I know this to be true of other communities, you represent them, where you go.
when you walk out in clothing from our store, it's a reflection on us. We really want to make you look good. I'll use a line that Elaine Barron's taught me when I first started working there, and it is so true. It can be said for our store as well. None of us work on commission. None of us
Yeah.
do. We don't care to sell you something to sell you something. When you leave this store and somebody sees you in clothing from our store and they compliment you, it's a compliment to us. And we want you to look good. It's not about, padding our sales. It's really about making you look and feel your very best. And that's the most important thing. I mean,
Well, you and I have laughed because, I've gone in your store and I'm like, "Oh, I love this." And I come out and, you and I are working together and you're like, "I love it. I love it." And your mom will be like, "Oh my God, you're wearing it." And then I've come out of the dressing room and we're like, not so much. And, it's funny because you want that. You always say, like, if you're at the mall, if you don't like it in the dressing room,
you're going to like it when you get home.
you're not going to like it when you get home. But in the dressing room at the mall, you're standing there by yourself, and the salesperson who is working on commission, you hope she's honest, and sometimes they are, and that's lovely. But you're like the best friend. When you shop local, you have your best friend there all the time.
And I mean, I can say it with anybody. I can have a customer that walks out, and while the outfit fits them beautifully and looks great on them, I also know my customer. I know their lifestyle. I know when it's not them. And I could have you walk out in a pair of blue jeans and a cute top, and I can turn to you and say, "Sari, you're never gonna wear it. I know you too well. It looks amazing on you. You're probably never gonna wear it. I'd rather you get the skirt that I know you're gonna put on all the time that also looks beautiful on you."
Right.
That's the difference when you shop at a local store.
What do you think during this period you've learned the most about working with your family? Because up to March, you've learned a lot between starting at Rear Ends and a family business, but also working side by side your parents every day. But now this is a big sort of shift in all things.
We're really, really fortunate. I mean, it's obviously my mom, my dad, and I here, but our employees are our family too. I mean, Jody, who works for us, started here 29 years ago. My mom was pregnant with my brother. 29 years. I mean, she's been here almost.
Wow.
And she's family. I mean, all of our employees, Dory's been here for 17 years. Like, what I've learned from all of this is that not only us, but our employees care about our business as much as we do. And we all lean on each other, and we're so, so fortunate. We all have our strengths, we all have our weaknesses, and we're all able to be there for one another. You've been in our store. You could walk in here and I could be hysterically crying one day, yelling at my dad, and other days, are amazing and we're all getting along and everything's great. That's a family business. It's not always easy, but no one cares more about you than your family, and no one cares more about your business than your family. And our employees care as much as we do. And that's really like what makes us so fortunate. I mean, my husband knows nothing about fashion. He is the cutest guy in the whole world, but he's 29, he's still wearing the sweatshirts and t-shirts that have his camp label on them. They're 14 years old.
Okay, now you're in trouble with your adorable mother-in-law.
Trust me, she would love to dress him too, but it's not his thing. And he took videos of me every single day. I mean, my dad dresses my mom up and she does her videos from home. And, if I needed to drop something off in West Bloomfield or Farmington Hills, my mom would do that. And I would take Birmingham and Huntington Woods. You have to lean on each other. And that's what family does. And that's what is so great about working with my family.
I think that it's so true. And the biggest takeaway for me, and I guess one of the reasons I stepped out of my box to sort of do this Facebook Live, and who knows how long I'll do it, but I've watched all you guys do it. You inspired me. And it's one of the reasons I wanted to talk to. And I'm picking on a lot of my clients to bring them forward, but a lot of non-clients, because I've been so impressed with our community. But it's that the the real passion and caring, and that I thought you all worked hard before, but I have never seen the kind of hard work of recent months. It's just been 24/7, and to be you're newly married, your parents couldn't go in the store, you were going in the store, then you were meeting them in the store once you felt a little more comfortable. There's just a lot of hard work that goes into a small business, but the amount of hard work that has now gone into the small business.
Every job is a challenge. Every time someone goes into work, it's challenging. That's why it's called work. This has become a full-time job. I mean, I've always been on call for my customers. Same with my family, same with my employees. They have our cell phone numbers. They call us at 8 o'clock at night. I was in New York once. I had one of my customers call me and say, "Remember that dress I bought? If you are out there and you see a shoe, will you call me?" And I've done it. I mean, this is what we do for our customers, and we love it. This time, particularly, I mean, 10 o'clock at night, I get phone calls or text messages. 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm barely awake. I'm getting.
I always say, can you let me have my coffee?
I'm on my third cup. But that's what we do now. And while it's a lot of work, I'm so grateful that our customers are still reaching out to us and they're still engaging with us. And whether or not they're shopping, I'm so lucky that they still want our business to survive. I mean, the things I've bought during this are all at local boutiques. I want the stores that I love to be in business. If they're successful, I'm going to be successful. I want everyone to do well. Just as much as I want us to do well, I really want my neighbors to do well. I want the other stores, in a couple cities over to do well. It's what you got to do right now.
I really, really appreciate you talking to me today, because I think from the beginning, I've said that I've tried to be a cheerleader, a therapist, PR, during this time, but I really felt like I could call you and say, what do you think about this idea? It's so off the wall, go, let's do it. And you and your family were game to do it and try things, staying on brand, which is always important. But your dad has always been a leader, he innovator. No, people don't always want to get behind him, because he can just be loud, and he's like me, like a match on fire. But that's, to be honest, what I love best, and that's why he's been in business so long. And he is just never going to not let you look good, and he's really instilled, I think, as a family, this amazing, amazing community spirit of shopping in our local, businesses.
Absolutely. I mean, we're so fortunate. We love our customers love us. And thank God every day that we have the customers, we have the stores in our center that we all support each other, and we have such a great, strong community of support during all of this. And in general, every day our customers support us. I mean, we're so lucky. We wouldn't be here 37 years if it weren't for them. So,
Well, thank you. I know you got to get back to having customers and appointments. So I thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad we didn't have technical problems, but thanks for coming and talking. I hope people really learned more about Hersh's. Tell everybody listening right now how they can find you and shop with you.
so if you would love to make an appointment, it's super easy. You can go onto our Hersh's Inc. I believe Hersh's Inc. on Instagram, or you can go to Hersh's HERSHS.setmore.com and book your appointments. You can call us at 248-626-7776. You can leave us a message if we're not here, or you can send us an email at hershesinc@gmail.com. We're available all the time. We're constantly talking to our customers and engaging with them. Just reach out. We're here, even if it's just to say hi.
Yeah, I mean, and things are coming in. New things are coming in, and
getting shipments in the last couple weeks, and it's really exciting. I love seeing new merchandise.
Yeah, well, we can get together with people in our backyards, and we need to look cute doing it. Why not? All right, thanks, Joss. Talk to you soon. My love to your parents.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.